Welcome to another deep dive edition of the Chicks on the Right podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the change.
The change of life. The circle of life.
Man, you know you're old when you do a podcast about menopause.
Right. I don't think enough people do that, though. Because, people would like to tell you, oh, 50's new 40 and 40's new 30 and 60's new 50. And they say all that. And, I think that you and I, for the most part, we feel pretty young, right? It's our bodies that go, nuh-uh, no, because, I try to do all the things like I always say to you. I have to go take my old lady weightlifting class, to make sure that my bones are strong and all that kind of stuff because of the osteopenia and the osteoporosis and all this stuff. But when I'm in there and I see like the young girls and stuff trying to do what I'm doing, like they're all cute. They kind of walk in with their Lululemon stuff and they got the perky asses and everything and they're all looking adorable. It's like I feel like them. Like I like on the inside I feel like the 20 and 30-year-olds. I feel like them. But then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, not them anymore. You know what I mean? And then you listen to a lot of the music that they listen to and you watch a lot of the things that they watch and you feel like you're kind of up to date on the things that they do. And I have kids who are 33 and 29 and 13, so I'm hip, right? I kind of feel like I'm still, is that a word still? I don't know if that's a word. I feel like I'm still up to, but then you reach the age where you're at the menopause stage and you're like, wow, it's life, man. Life it slows you down a little bit. It makes you, all the things that go along with menopause, all the life changes and the responsibility changes and just everything that goes with it. But menopause is something that nobody prepares you for, like the change of life, everything that goes with it. So I had this dark spot that was right here, not so much here, or here, but it was here. That was a Tommy Boy reference, by the way, everybody, if you didn't get it. But it was right here. And listen, dark spots do not go away on their own. I don't know if you know that. They just don't. In fact, they usually invite friends. And so they're like, hey, look, I'm a dark spot. Come over here. And so this one was not going away on its own. And so the only way that I could get rid of it was to use Genucel's dark spot corrector. And you guys, that stuff works.
It's magic.
It is magic. A lot of that stuff you put it on, you're like, this isn't working. That stuff works. It's amazing stuff. And it's pretty
fast, right? Like how long did it take to get some serious fading?
I would say probably within a couple weeks, I could really see that it was just gone. It's like, bye, wow. See ya. It's like it works for sunspots, which I'm assuming that's what this was, because I refuse to call it a liver spot. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not, because then I'll just start getting depressed. But and then people have discoloration on their hands. How people get like the little dark spots on their hands. I try to take care of my hands. Those are the
age spots, right?
Yeah, age spots and stuff like that. Yeah, like your grandma used to have those on her hands and stuff like that. So anyways, it works for that. It's just unbelievable. You're going to be amazed at how quickly you're going to see results. And listen, you can get it right now, I think, in the most popular package, can't you?
Yeah, and this is like a summer essentials package, the most popular package right now. Do not wait because they're offering 70% off for new customers on the most popular package. It's free shipping, it's free returns. There's even a free mystery luxury gift right now while supplies last. All you have to do is go to genucel.com/chicks. That's GENUCEL.com/chicks. Use code chicks to get that big fat discount and to get your hands on the free luxury gift. That would also be a great thing for people to report back on just quietly. Don't don't give away the surprise, but maybe send us an email and say, this is what I got for my free gift and it was amazing. I would love to know.
I would love to know too. I'd love to know what that is. Definitely.
genucel.com/chicks.
They can throw out a bunch of books on it and everything, but to me, it's kind of like pregnancy. You're never actually prepared for it until you're in it and you're living it. And you're like, why am I waking up at 3 every morning? And I am having a panic attack. Why am I sweating my ass off like a woman from the old country? Why is this happening? Like they can't They just can't prepare you until you're in it.
And you can read all you want about.
Right.
I mean, everybody knows. Oh, okay. Well, when you hit menopause, you have hot flashes and you have night sweats, and like you hear those things and you read those things and you think that you know what that means,
what it feels
but then
like.
when they and then when it actually happens, it's like a whole other thing. Because for me, it's not even hot flashes. It's that my body seems unable to remember how to regulate temperature at all, ever. And so, yes, I will all of a sudden turn absolutely purple. It's happened during our show countless times.
Me too.
Where I'll see myself on camera and I'll be like, why am I purple? And I'm absolutely sweating and the back of my neck is totally soaked.
And I get
you
stabby.
Just keep on keeping on.
Do you get stabby? I don't know if like my body like feels like 1,000 when I'm sweating, it feels like 1,000 needles are also stabbing me. So my hot flashes are also stabby, which is a nice added benefit. It's lovely. It's great. Like a little, like tiny stabby, like little tiny people are stabbing me all over as I'm sweating my ass off. It's like, and it's constant. It just doesn't. I've been going through menopause since I was 48 years old. I started. I mean, I feel like that's kind of early, 48, and then I'm gonna be 52 this month. And it just, and I had a doctor tell me once, some women, it can last, 10 years.
Oh my God.
You could be going, I just wanted to punch her in the face when she told me that. Cause it's like, it's just what we go through. It's just like, so I'm going to sweat like this. I'm going to have stabby sweat for 10 years.
The craziest part, cause we've got this love seat that we have in our family room. And when my husband and I sit together, there have been times where I'm not even touching him, right? I'm just next to him and he will feel a hot flash come on.
Are you serious? He'll feel you?
It because I'm next to him just radiating heat.
Yeah.
And he'll look over and he'll be like, you're beaded. Like there's sweat all. And I'm like, I know, man. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're never prepared for it. You don't know why or there's no rhyme or reason.
And then you want to get mad at him for not feeling the same things that you're feeling. I feel ultra ragey because I'm just like, what? And then he's like, oh my God, it's so cold in here. It's cold in the house. And I'm like, I'm going to kill you with my bare hands. Right now, I'm going to kill you. Because it's not cold, and it's not cold in here at all. Grab a sweatshirt, Nancy. It's not cold. I mean, this is where you start having the temperature wars in your house with your husband.
Yes.
They're cold, and you're like, are you serious? How can you feel cold in here? Oh, my God. This is the thing, the battle between the sexes once menopause starts. But this is the thing. And then you start recognizing that your life at that point is... it's very different than it was like in your 20s and your 30s and even your 40s because I guess some women go through this in their 40s, but you have taken on it's a different role, because a lot of us are still working. Mm-hmm. And then we have like for you, your child is getting ready to go to college.
One more year before he leaves and I just cannot even deal.
Like that alone is so traumatizing. Because we went through that with our older kids. They already did that. So they're off on their own. I'm getting ready to have a grandkid, my first grandkid, which is crazy. I can't even. And then I still have a 13-year-old. Yeah. So I have all these different roles, right? It's like you still have the kid that's like in middle school. We still have the young kid. We have older kids. We have grandkid. And then I've got, we're going to talk about this, I'm sure later, but you have family members who may pass away. I have a father that just passed away. You have parents who we have another set of parents who are needing assisted living. You get to that point where you start feeling like your parents are, for lack of a better phrase, it's not that they're your children. It's just that you feel like you need to take care of them.
Right.
Where they always took care of you. So you're put in that position where you're caretaking, or not even caretaking. You may not be hands-on caretaking, but you feel like you have to step in and tell them things that they always told you. You know what I mean?
And you have to be the adult in the room when it comes to, is it time to take the keys away? Is it time to say you can't live in this house anymore?
Right.
That stuff is hard.
It is so hard. I don't think people talk about that stuff enough. It's so hard to do that because they were the ones who always gave you advice, and now you're having to give them advice while
you're resistant to it.
Right.
Yeah.
While you're getting the stabby sweats.
Right. And
And
it
the
all
panic.
culminates at one horrible, just
Right.
unfortunate time of life.
It's just unfathomable, you're just like, what is good? And so, yeah, it's just it is a really strange time, I know. And right now, like just even the sending kids to college thing, it's so traumatizing. I can't even wrap my brain around sending our youngest, because then that's it. At least I still have that I'm like, okay, we've got one left in the house. And I know like next year I'm going to have to, there's going to be a period of time where you're going to be in the fetal position, rocking back and forth,
Right.
because he's going to be going off to college, and that's it. Like, you're done. Speaking of menopause, it is impossible for me to get a good night's sleep without my pillow. And I use all of the My Pillow products, especially the king size My Pillow. And so but honestly, without my pillow, there's no way I'd be able to sleep at all, because I use the 2.0 My Pillow, and it's temperature controlled. So my sweaty head doesn't get seriously though. I'm not even kidding. It really is temperature controlled, like these. And I don't even put a pillowcase on it. That's how hardcore I am. There's no pillowcase on it. I just sleep right on the My Pillow 2.0, and it's amazing. And so you guys can get the queen size limited edition My Pillow. The regular price is $69.98. You can get it for $19.98 and just $10 more for a king size. Go to mypillow.com/chicks. Use promo code chicks, or you can always call them if you want to talk to a really nice person over there. You can do that at 800-875-0813. But I'm telling you, the best. They also have the Giza Dream Sheets. They have all of that. I mean, they have everything, obviously, at My Pillow to put on your bed and to make it like a place of like an oasis for you if you're menopausal, which is what I do. It's basically my favorite place in the house is my bed.
Well, and they're celebrating hard right now because it's their 20th anniversary. And so the limited edition original My Pillow is great for non-menopausal men that are not worried about temperature control.
True.
So you've got your pick of the litter. You can do the limited edition. That's the queen size is $19.99 right now, or you can get the My Pillow 2.0, also with huge discounts when you use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/.
And then you're going to be like, okay. And then my role is going to be, as a mom of a kid that's gone. And then then my role is going to be empty nester.
I don't know how to do that.
I know.
I just don't know how to prepare myself for that.
Right. Because it's been 20 years of not doing that. It's been 20 years of mama. And so it's just hard. Like, this is a really weird time of life that I think that, a lot of us just don't talk enough about, especially our generation, because we're such a tough generation that we're just like, it's just like part of life. Just rite of passage. This is a rite of passage. This is a rite of passage. This is a rite of passage. And then you just sort of like suck it up. But there's all these things that you're right. It's like a perfect storm culminating at one time. And
at a hugely emotional time.
Yeah.
And then it's not, you hear, we talk about the temperature thing, the hot flashes, whatever. That's like super common. Everybody goes through that. But then there's like these other weird body changes that you don't necessarily expect. Like, for example, and this isn't necessarily a menopausal thing as much as it is an aging thing. But nobody prepared me for the fact that when I do a plank, because I'm trying to stay healthy, trying to exercise, if I do a plank and I look back at my body, what's going on? Why is everything things are where they're not supposed to be?
That's your biggest mistake. You're not supposed to look back. You're not supposed to do that.
What is going on? Like,
Don't do
my
that.
knees. Why are my knees
sagging?
Yes.
Like they
hanging. Like the skin on my knees hangs down.
Everything hangs. You don't want to do that. Why would you ever do that? You don't ever want to look down.
Because nobody prepared me for this.
It's gravity, man. This is the thing. Gravity, like around age 45, no matter how much you work out or how well you eat, like gravity's like, oh, hey, hello. Hi, I'm gravity. Hello.
It's me.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Gravity is like this awful, terrible bitch from high school that just shows up and she's like, hi, I'm here to haunt you.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's awful. I don't know why you do that. I don't do that. I just don't look.
I just didn't
if
know.
I'm doing a plank.
I
just
didn't
don't
know that I
don't
shouldn't
ever
do
look
that.
again, Mock.
Oh
You
my
can't do that. Don't. No. Yeah,
I mean, at least when you're working out like that, you should be rewarded, right? Like you should be rewarded with like your body should be saying to you, "You're doing awesome," and instead you look down and it's like,
well, it's like looking at a mirror on the floor. Like if you look down
Yeah.
in a mirror, or looking at your mirror, like on your cell phone, when you pick up your cell phone and you like look at the you look at the camera, the reverse camera in your cell phone, and you're like, oh, what was I thinking? I didn't know I had 4 chins. What was that? I
Where
didn't
did those
realize
come
that
from?
was the case. You don't want to do that. You never want to do that. No. That's
well,
not
and
good.
I saw a TikTok earlier of a woman who also listed some symptoms that I don't have all of her symptoms. She lists a couple that I was like, oh my God, do I have that to look forward to also? Like,
Yes.
is this something that's coming? I don't know. I know menopause hits women differently. It's individual. It's a very individual experience. There are some commonalities, but she was listing some things that I was like, wait a minute. Itchy ears, burning knees. What is going on? Let's play that because I'm sure that there's going to be other people in the audience that will relate.
Oh, hey. So menopause is a good time, huh?
It's a good time.
It's weird, itchy ears, and my knees burn. Just personal summers all day long. It's not even talk about nighttime. And no deodorant works. Not one. You name it. I've tried it. I just always smell like onions. People.
Oh my God,
Migraines and panic attacks. Anyone?
Uh-huh.
Bueller? This muscle in the back of my head, it's always tight. It won't let go. Somebody told me to do the Botox back here. Listen, if I were to be able to afford the Botox, don't you think I should focus? Maybe I should focus here. I just always look unpleasant. I am unpleasant. I don't even like myself right now. I'm just annoyed at all the things. I'm annoyed by myself. Anyways, let's go menopause. Have some grace.
Have some grace. The itchy ears are a real thing, Mock. That's a real thing.
I haven't had that.
I actually have had that. And I mean, I don't have it like constantly, but I do have that just for no reason whatsoever. And then I've read about it. I've read that like lots and lots of women have the itchy ears. So that's a normal thing.
Like inside or like you're
Yeah.
outside?
Inside.
Inside.
Just itchy
Okay.
ears. Just itchy, constant itchy ears. So that's a thing, the itchy ears. And then obviously migraines. I mean, of course, like women get migraines and headaches and stuff like that. And just general irritability. I mean,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
we're in our 50s. At this point, we have a lot to be pissed off about. I mean, we're just irritated, generally irritated. And I imagine that's probably going to it's going to increase just, as the years progress. We're just, because I think we're at that age where we're just like, I have no more F's left to give.
Yeah, no filter.
No filter. Yeah, we just don't care. And so, yeah, I can see where we would just not care and just be pissed off all the time and just general. And then, like you were talking about your husband being able to feel the heat, and I was talking about my general irritability towards my husband for being cold when I'm on fire. I'm literally on fire next to him. Yeah. So there's that too, when you just feel irritable that everybody around you can't feel what you're feeling because you do
Yeah.
have a personal summer. It's like, why do I feel summer and everybody's in winter? It's just not fair. Everybody needs to feel what I'm feeling. This is not okay. But yeah, this is
Well,
the
it's funny
thing.
because she said the thing about the muscle in the back of her head not letting go.
Right.
I have this thing. It's every single night when I'm like getting into bed, and if I'm reading or if I'm looking at my phone, and then if I'm looking down and then I look back up, there's like this crunchy feeling in the back of my scalp. Like right underneath my scalp. I've never had it until probably the last, 6 to 9 months. There's just like this sort of crunchy sound that I can hear deep in my own head, and like it's from the back of my scalp. I don't know what it is. It's so weird.
At least you have hair, because people lose. Because I mean, that was another thing, is hair loss. Hair loss was a big thing with menopause, all of that. So menopause is crazy. I just don't think enough people talk about it. And then some women will choose to do all that HRT stuff.
Right.
There's that, and to each their own. I think it's great when some women love it. I tried it and hated it.
I was on it for, I think, 3 years total. And then, of course, had my mini stroke. And then the doctors were like, you got to get off of that because of potential clotting. And so I did. And that's when I got hurled into menopause. And so I'm just waiting for it to be over.
Right. Good. That'll be 10 years. That'll be 10 years, according to that one doctor, at least 7 to 10 years. So good luck with that. Yeah. But this is the thing. I mean, it's like just a rite of passage, I guess, that we all have to go through. And this is the kind of stuff that I would imagine that the Leah Thomases and people of the world will not have to deal with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like all of the transgender women that say, we're real women. They don't have to go through all of these rites of passage that we go through.
Yeah, it's a 100% womanly experience.
Yeah,
and
it's 100%.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, this is not something you can fake.
No, you can't fake this. It's something that you go through and you've earned, right? It's like it is a rite of passage. It's like a badge of honor, and we'll complain about stuff that we have to go through, but it's something that we share as women, as a collective, and we kind of understand each other. Like it's like our little club, and we get it. We understand it because we go through it together.
Yeah. One, I guess it's not advice. It's not like I'm the expert on menopause by any stretch, but I will say that one of the calling cards for menopause, in addition to the hot flashes and that sort of thing, is the irritability and and high emotion. And so I know, because there's, I've told you this many times, that there's times where I feel like it's been too long since I've had a good cry.
Yes.
And I'll feel I'll feel like a whole bunch of stuff is just building and building and building. I need to let it out.
One of the things that I eat a lot of now, just in menopause, I crave a lot of is meat. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I did that a lot too when I was pregnant. So I don't know. There may be a relation there, but I just crave a lot of fillets. I really love steak. I like the bacon wrap fillets from Omaha Steaks, and I like the pork chops too. I also love their pork, and I eat those a lot for lunch. I'll put those in my air fryer, and I love them so much. And the only way that I can do this is with Omaha Steaks, because they have the best meat ever. And they have like their anniversary package right now. You can get like a sampling of everything that they make. I mean, it's awesome. They have like 4 butcher cut fillets, and they have the chicken breast and the bacon wrap pork chop. Oh my God, the pork chops are so amazing. And then the jumbo franks, which my daughter loves. She loves those. And then plus you get like 8 free Omaha steak burgers, and then more, like I think 8 more jumbo franks. They just throw those right in.
Just because it's their anniversary.
Right. All because of their anniversary, which is pretty amazing. So good, you guys. It's just the best time to get it.
Yeah, that's the anniversary package, which is awesome. But it's actually, they're offering 50% off site-wide right now for their anniversary. So even if that's not your perfect package, if there's something else you want, and there's so much to choose from at omahasteaks.com, just put the word chicks in the search bar field, and you'll be taken to the best discounts the site has to offer at omahasteaks.com. Again, put code chicks in the search field at omahasteaks.com. And then I have this issue, and I'm trying to give myself grace, and so I'm advising everyone else out there who might be experiencing this to also give themselves grace. And that is, it's very easy to be like, well, I'm emotional because of menopause, and then to dismiss your actual feelings as not being legitimate because they're driven by hormones.
Yes.
And so it's very easy to do that. And it's very easy for people in your family to do that. Oh, well, my husband might like see me breaking down and be like, well, she's hormonal, she's menopausal. But he's also been really good about saying that's not to dismiss what you're feeling. It's to just recognize that this is part of the whole experience.
Yeah.
Right? It's part of the process. You go through it, and it does affect your mood, your emotions, the way that you respond to certain, tough situations. It all plays a role, but it doesn't discount how you might be feeling. It doesn't.
That's true.
It doesn't mean that you're just like, well, it's menopause, so therefore I need to buck it up. No, it's valid. It's legit.
Absolutely, it's valid. Yeah. Another thing I noticed too is this may be kind of this may go against what you just said, but I do think like we have an older daughter who is pregnant right now. And some of the things that I go through in menopause are very similar to what she goes through in pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's interesting how the female just how we're similar that way. Like, it just like she'll call me and she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm irritable, or I'm having a hot flash, or I'm just a lot of the similar, just all the similar things. I feel, I feel bloated because she's, gained a bunch of weight, and it's obviously in pregnancy, or just the way, or I'm going to kill my husband right now, or just similar things that she goes through. And I remember those days of being pregnant with my daughter and how I felt. And, or she'll just call me and ask me, is this normal? Is it normal for me to feel this way? Is it normal for me to have the symptom? Is this should I call the doctor? Is this normal? And I sometimes feel that way during menopause. Is this normal to feel this as a woman? And I'll find myself Googling stuff. Is this normal in menopause? Or do I have cancer, because I have this weird symptom? Women do that all the time. We're constantly like, because a lot of the stuff is just, our bodies are just so weird sometimes when it comes to these different rites of passages. So it's interesting how they mimic one another sometimes. Like pregnancy and menopause are kind of similar, and how young and old will talk to one another. And I'm like, God, it's so weird because she's pregnant and I'm going through menopause, and how similar they are.
And how doesn't it feel like you were pregnant 45 seconds ago?
45 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. And I tell her that, and I'm like, it's just so, and I try to tell her, as weird as it is and as, uncomfortable as you can be, just do the best you can to enjoy it, because it's, what a cool time that was. And so, and at the same time, I'm, as much as there are days where I'm like, menopause sucks, in many ways, I'm trying so hard to, at least I don't have my period.
Exactly.
There's that.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? It could be worse.
It could be so much worse.
It could be so much worse. You know what I mean? At least I don't have to plan vacations around that, and and events and stuff. I mean, there's that, so I don't have to do that. And so there are days where I'm like, and I'm in such a better place in my life now than I was, 30 years ago, and even 10 years ago. So I kind of like this part of my life. I like this stage, even though they're weird things. And I mean, my breath, I don't think my body or my breath smells like onions, but even though I have weird symptoms and stuff like that, I actually do like being in my 50s. I think 50s are kind of great. Don't you?
It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely,
I
it's
think
like you can kind of see what the rest of your life should be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's neat. I mean, that's kind of a neat thing to be able to plan how you're going to relax later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like exactly, like there is a little bit of a blueprint there, whereas before it was just like, I have no idea how things are going to turn out. But now, yeah, you're right. There is a little bit more of a blueprint. That's kind of neat. And your family is a little bit more settled, and things are, crazy on a day-to-day basis because, like, we said before, you're taking care of a lot of people in a lot of different phases of their life, and you've taken on so many different roles, and you have so many different responsibilities at this age. But man, we're way more equipped than we were 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, God only gives you what you can handle. And so
we're told.
That's what we're told. And so, and I guess there are a lot of other women that are going through the same thing that we're going through.
Yeah.
And, it's like, we're not alone. So we're strong enough to handle it.
And I think that's why we wanted to talk about this today, because I'm sure a lot of our audience is around our age.
Right.
And so I'm sure that, I hope that people listen to this and feel like, okay, well, it happens to everybody.
It
right?
does.
And we're all
yeah.
in this together.
We are. Yeah, we are. And it's like, I think there is a light at the end of that tunnel. There's a lot of people that are, probably going through it, or maybe they are at the end of that tunnel and they've been through it. Some of the people that listen to us, and I would love to hear what they have to say about it. Hopefully they'll comment and talk,
I would love that. We would
Yeah.
love to see some comments on the Apple podcasting platform. I actually have some comments to read from the last month and a half or so. Some of them, there are people that definitely don't like us at all.
Oh,
and then there are
okay.
some that do.
Okay,
So
I would
it's
love
always
to
a
hear
mixed
those.
bag.
That's fantastic.
So Ellie, with a whole bunch of numbers after her name, 1 star, said, "Yikes. actually shocked at how bad this show was. I listen to a lot of bad podcasts just for fun, if that gives you an idea of what Ellie is like as a human.
Okay, all right.
But this one was other level. Beyond just being confident and wrong at the same time, it was just a full-on bore.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that she took the time to listen to something so boring.
I mean, that's what she does for fun,
I
she
know.
said.
Can you imagine what she does not for fun?
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. From JJ Seriously Irritated, 1 star. Ignorance fueling the fire. Please stop spreading hate and ignorance.
Okay. All right.
Another one with the name Biden is winning
Really?
said, the right is garbage. These 2 women do nothing but put other people down and talk complete trash. It's absolutely horrible. Get this crap off the air.
Censor, censor, censor.
Right?
That's about right. Sounds
And then
about.
we have a good one. There's Misawa Chick, 5 stars, longtime thankful fan. As a fellow former indie resident, I have loved you two for years. I look forward to your thoughtful take on current events every day. Your ability to find the humor in all the nonsense always leaves me with a sense of optimism. Today, I heard you on my other favorite podcast with Megyn Kelly. You were fantastic.
They love that.
That's
It's very
sweet one.
sweet. Very sweet.
Uh-oh, here's another bad one.
Oh, got a lot of bad
This is
ones today.
This is from Willis R. 1 star. No thanks. This podcast is what happens when 2 people ignore the world around them and think because something has never happened to me, it does not happen to anyone anywhere. So no thanks.
Okay.
I don't know what that was referring to, but that's what they said.
Some really good ones today. These are great.
Weejo, 5 stars. Love your pod. Why in the world are our country's top secrets kept in broken down cardboard boxes? I'm sure referring
That
to
is
Joe Biden's garage.
Yeah, that's a really great question.
It's not a bad question.
There's like a billion classified documents too. Why is everything so damn classified?
That's a great point.
Why is it?
Texan for Truth, 5 stars. Love the show with the fellas. He's referring to our appearance with the Ruthless folks. I hope you have more shows with them. We do too. That's always so much fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
And then I don't remember what show it was where we were talking about the fact that people have very different outlooks on how far they're willing to drive before they fill up their gas tanks and whether husbands fill up their wives' tanks. Remember that conversation?
Yes, we do. Yeah, I think that was on our regular show, actually.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And so ATJ SAJ, 5 stars, said on gas 2 things. I do not allow my wife's car to get below a half a tank. God bless him.
God bless him is right.
Yeah. And he says, I go get gas for her usually once a week and I check at least twice a week. What
That's so
a good
sweet.
dude. Isn't that sweet?
What a sweet guy. They say that's the
Yeah.
key to a good marriage, is what we were saying. Is what
That's right.
somebody wrote that somewhere. And I was like, is that the key to a good marriage? Yeah, it's very, very
I mean,
interesting.
it definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah, your mileage
Right?
may vary, pun intended.
So great reviews. Hopefully people will contribute more to the iTunes, Apple Podcast platform in terms of reviews and comments, and especially in relation to what we discussed today about menopause. Would love to
we want to hear from all
other
the
women about that.
the menopausal mamas out there.
Or the men that are
Or the
also
men.
impacted, because men are.
Yeah, because men are cold, man. They're cold. They're cold and they're hot, and they're, just let us know how you feel. Where you're at temperature wise with your hot wives.
That's
and
right.
when I say hot, I'm talking hot. Like not like, but I'm talking just hot. That's what I'm talking about. You guys, until next week, have a great and lovely week.